Good morning, guys. JK with PornReboot here, on the way back from the gym as usual. Today I'm going to talk about porn addiction, masturbation addiction, compulsive sexual behaviors in general, and your self-image. The idea and the picture you have of yourself inside your head. So, I talk to a lot of guys. I receive a ton of emails. And one thing that I've noticed that many men who struggle with porn and masturbation addiction have in common is a low self-image or a negative self-image. This means that you don't consider yourself worthy of many things. Now, our self-image is developed as we grow up. How you were treated as a child, how your parents or whomever raised you took care of you, the messages that your parents or whomever raised you gave you to build your self-image. Some people had a middle school teacher or a high school teacher, or they met someone in college who was able to help them build a positive self-image, who was able to help them believe in themselves. And others were not so fortunate. But you may have had a perfectly healthy self-image, but when you started watching porn and you lost control of it, you slowly started changing your self-image. So the way you started viewing yourself was a person who does not have control over himself. And your self-image, when you become an adult, when you become responsible, and when there's no one else around there to help you boost your self-image, you are the one who is responsible for it, and it is your self-talk, what you say to yourself in your head, that boosts your self-image. Of course, after self-talk comes action, but today we're just talking about the image, self-image, and what you can do about it. Now, when you don't have control over a behavior in your life, there's no way that you can feel good about it. You tell yourself certain things when you masturbate after you've promised yourself that you're not going to do it again. You may have told yourself that you are weak-willed, that perhaps you lack self-discipline, that you're not an attractive person, you don't have what it takes to attract women, you are cowardly when you see attractive women that you want to approach and talk to and get to know, but you can't do it. You have no control over your anxiety. You're always anxious when there's an opportunity for you in your career, in business, in anything. You just don't take it. So you're telling yourself all these stories, and that is what your self-image is built upon. Now, your self-image resides in your subconscious mind, and it is the most important thing to your success as a man. It is so important because it gives you a place in the world. It gives you authority to own your place, to call yourself a contributing member of society, and to feel that your life and your existence is worth something. Nobody can do that for you. Some of you run to the Bible and run to religious books and run to all kinds of things to help you build up your self-image. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, when you become an adult, no one is going to build it up for you. It is your responsibility to build that self-image. I'll tell you how I built my self-image real quick. So when I was watching pornography, when I was addicted to it, when I was masturbating multiple times every day, I was lowering my self-image tremendously. Some of the things I was doing was really digging it into my brain. I was really putting these deep-rooted beliefs into myself that I was not attractive for so many reasons. I came up with all kinds of excuses. I made my race an excuse. I made my looks an excuse. I made my economic background and my family's background an excuse. And I started looking all around the world, and I started looking around in my environment for things to prove that. I would look at men who seemed to be successful with women, and I would tell myself that The reason that they were successful was because they were good looking. The reason why they were successful with women was because they were wealthier than me. They were more social than me. They were extroverted. And the truth was, this was mostly bullshit. It was all about how I viewed myself. The same thing was with my finances. My bank balance was perpetually overdrawn. Always. I just couldn't figure it out. The moment money came into my hands, I spent it. The same thing was with my belief in my ability to be a good student or to be great at my career. I just felt that I was slower. This was something that I had been told when I was growing up, that JK, you're a little bit slower than other people. You know, you're slower than your siblings. And I internalized that, and that became a part of my self-image. Finally, I decided one day that I had had enough. I looked around me and I said, I am tired of living a fantasy life. I really am. I am so tired of fantasizing about beautiful women. I am so tired of living vicariously through other people's experiences. I'm just sick and tired of that bullshit. I was like, I will either die or I will get those things in my life. All the things that I want. There is no two ways about it. I don't give a shit about anything else. And the first thing that needs to go is this behavior that I cannot control. Now, in conjunction with attacking my porn and masturbation addiction, I started changing my self-image specifically, and this is how you can change your self-image as well, by seeing myself as successful. Quite literally visualizing it. Some people think that visualizing is a little bit out there. And honestly, I feel very sorry for you if you are struggling with porn and masturbation addiction and in other areas of your life, and you think that concepts like affirmations and visualizations are useless. That's all I can say. I feel sorry for you because those have been things which have been instrumental in changing my life. The reason why visualization works and why it has such an impact on your self-image is because as human beings, the one thing that makes us different from other creatures is not only our ability to imagine our future, but we have the ability to think about the fact that we can think. We are conscious and we are self-aware beings. Many of you are not using even a little bit of your potential as a human being. There's something called your reticular activating system. Here's how your reticular activating system works for you. When you're in an airport waiting for your flight, do you notice how your brain kind of blocks out everything that is being announced over the intercom? Everything is blocked out except your name. When your name or your flight number is called out, immediately your subconscious mind filters through everything and it identifies that. Your reticular activating system is what you use to change your self-image. So, when you start visualizing your life as you want it to be, and you focus on that one thing, an image of yourself free of porn, an image of yourself in control of your masturbation, an image of yourself in a healthy, happy, loving, connected relationship, an image of yourself in the right financial situation, an image of yourself as a confident man going for the things that he wants in life, self-confident and self-assured. What happens when you do that on a repeated basis is that you activate your reticular activating system, and it starts looking in your world for opportunities to make that happen. It starts looking for all the things that are screaming that message over the intercom, that are saying, James, JK, David, Tyler, Brett, Aditya, whoever you are, it starts screaming that and saying, hey, these are the things that you need to do to get that in your life, to get that which you want in your life. And that's how you start moving forward. And that's how you begin to make progress towards all your goals. So every day till today, I put aside time to not only write down my goals, but as I write them down, I close my eyes and I visualize them. I see myself doing it. I feel myself doing it. I use all my senses to imagine all that I want, all that I want and all that I want to be in life. And slowly that started happening. A good example of that is this video that you are watching. When I found out that there were so many men who were struggling with this problem, I had no idea how I was going to help men. It was something I wanted to do. And I hear many men tell me the same thing. JK, one day I would like to do something similar to what you do. I would like to help men overcome this problem once I've overcome it in my life. And I was the same way. I didn't know how to do it. I was already recovered. I had control over my porn and masturbation. So I went back to what worked for me. I started visualizing myself doing this. I visualized myself putting together my system. I visualized myself working on it until other men could actually start benefiting from it. I visualized myself doing the hard work, not just impacting men's life. I knew a lot of work needed to go into it. I visualized myself doing the hard work, and then I visualized myself being the person that I am today. And there are many other things that are going on in my life. I don't share everything about my life on YouTube, but many of those things that are going on, I am happy with them. And all of these things are happening thanks to visualization and constantly working on my self-image. There are huge goals that I have, and I'm not there yet. And right now, I'm working on my self-image to get there. So let me tell you this. It doesn't matter how much of a loser that you feel you are. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you feel you can or you cannot do. All you need to do is sit your ass down, close your eyes, and start imagining as if it's a dream, as if it's even if it's completely unrealistic. Start doing that every day, and I promise you, with time, your self-image is going to adjust to that which you put in your mind all the time. All right? Guys, it's so important. So I'm going to share one more story with you guys on self-image. One of the first times that I ever went to a bar when I was in college with my friends, I remember being on the side of the dance floor with this group of friends, and they were good people. They had good intentions, and we were young, and it was a clique, and they weren't really action takers. So while we were standing there was a girl on the dance floor who was dancing with her friends, and she kept looking over at me. And so all my friends were like, ooh, JK, she's checking you out. She likes you. What are you going to do? They didn't expect me to do anything. But I decided to take action because I was like, if I don't talk to this girl, I'm going to go home and masturbate about her or find some porn video that has a girl that looks like that and jerk off to it. So I was like, fine, I'll go dance with her. Unfortunately, my interaction with women in clubs back in those days was limited to grinding on them when I was drunk enough. And that's what happened. I went in there and I tried to grind on her, which was embarrassing and lame. So quite naturally, I got rejected. And all her friends were like, whoa, 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 back off, creepy guy. So I tucked my tail between my legs and fled back to my group of friends who were laughing at me now. They were rolling. They were like, oh my God, that's so fucking lame, bro. You got so rejected, man. We had 2 or 3 girls in our group. And back then, all of us as guys, we were friend-zoned by these girls. Completely in their friend zone. So I asked one of the girls in our group why she thought I got rejected. And she said, oh, it's just because, like, you're not attractive. You're probably just not her type. I mean, look at the guys that are around her. They're very attractive guys, so, you know, you're not her type. I allowed her opinion to affect my self-image. And I started believing that I was not a good-looking guy and I needed to have certain facial features in order to be attractive to women. Young, dumb, and now very insecure. As I started working on my self-image, and I'm using this as an example for those of you out there who have a negative self-image which you have attached to how you look. As I started working on my self-image, I became very realistic about certain things. And one of those things was that it is not just looks that matter when it comes to attracting women. Looks are important, don't get me wrong. But I looked at myself and I was like, JK, let's say you are a 5 or a 6 out of 10. 10 being a male supermodel. Let's say you're a 5 or a 6. Well, what can you do about it? Well, realistically, the only thing you can do is become the best damn 5 or 6 in terms of looks that you can become. That's the first thing. And accept that. This is as good as it gets for me. Maybe on a really great day, I might even look like a 7. Who knows? But be as good looking as you can facially. The second thing is, what else can you do to enhance your attractiveness so that, number one, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you step out of your house, you feel great and you feel confident. So it's like, one of the things I've always been insecure about is my body. I'm a super skinny guy. Maybe if I put on some muscle, I might feel better about myself. And maybe women will find that attractive too. It was always me first. I had to feel good because I started understanding that as long as I felt good about myself first, but I was realistic enough to understand that people were still seeing me from the outside, it would be okay. So it was my body. Then I examined how we feel about people's financial situations. And I realized because I didn't feel good about my financial situation, I didn't have much self-confidence. But if I fixed that, not only would I be more confident in myself, but maybe, and this again, it was always the second thing. First was for me. Maybe women would find me attractive. Was this correct? Was it the most healthy thing? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take care of yourself first. So I fixed that part of my life too. And it helped with my self-image. It did. It helped with my self-image. I felt really amazing about myself. And it really helped in all aspects. The next thing was my self-confidence. I asked myself, how confident am I as a man? Like when I walk into a social situation, am I becoming a wallflower? Or if I choose to, can I become an active part of a conversation and contribute to it? Can I be funny? Can I dominate a conversation if necessary? Can I lead? And so those were skills that I went out to get. And before I got them, I started imagining myself doing those things. At that time, I was selling door to door. I imagined myself as a person who could walk into a stranger's home and sell them something cold. And they had no idea who I was. But just from my charisma at the door, just from my body language, just from the trust that I could build in a few seconds, they would let me into their homes and they would buy something from me. Then I started visualizing myself building a large sales organization and leading people. And before I got the skills, I started seeing myself doing that. I started seeing myself giving people belief. I started seeing myself helping people believe they could achieve that. Way before PornReboot, I reached a point where I could walk into any college campus in the United States, pick a random 19-year-old, and teach them how to make $3,000 a week selling door to door within 4 weeks. And without believing it myself, I couldn't help anybody else do it. It is your self-image that needs to change first for anything to happen. So to conclude the story that I was telling you about looks, at the end of the day, when I had worked on all those things, I started waking up and feeling attractive. And that was all I needed. I stopped caring about what other people thought about me. I really stopped because I knew that I had worked hard to build up many general attractive qualities in myself. And I want you guys to know that if you have a low self-image, it's holding you back from many amazing things in your life. So start working on it today. A fantastic book to read about your self-image is Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. I've left a link for it in the description below. Listen, if you want to join a community of men who are working on all the things that I'm talking about in these videos, start off by joining our Facebook group, okay? It's a private Facebook group. I've left a link to it in the description below. Join, talk to other guys, watch live videos from me. Work on yourself. Work on your self-image. Remember, PornReboot is holistic. It's not just about quitting porn, not just about quitting masturbation. There are many things in your life that porn has taken away from you. And if I just helped you quit porn, that doesn't do much for you. You know, chances are you're going to slip again because you're not working on the other things. So come in there and learn how to upgrade all the levels of your life. I hope I'll see you in the group. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the brighter side of this journey. Have a great day.